British punctuality, even we are Spanish. So good morning, everyone. I am Marta. This is Yamandu. We come from Spain. It's our first time in Boston, our first time in Red Hat Summit. And we come from Madrid, and we work for Mutua Madrilena. That is a Spanish insurance company. We'd love to share with you our journey to event-driven automation in our company and how it drove us to a more efficient and easier life with what we call automagic. So let's get started. Okay, this is the agenda for today. First, we will be introducing ourselves a little deeper. Then we will give you the context for our company and our situation and why we started this journey on automation and EDA, event-driven automation. Then we will go through the solution where we get to and the path that we got to that solution. Then we will have some technical demo by Yamandu about some EDA cases, use cases with the magic, the automagic. And finally, we will go to next steps with To Infinite and Beyond. So let's go ahead. This is Yamandu Pellechea. He's head of automation in Mutua Madrilena. He's been working with automation projects over 10 years. And he's studying an IA degree. On the personal side, his name is because he's a Uruguayan father. And as a good Uruguayan, he loves meat. He's a sport enthusiast, and he loves cats. You want to introduce me too, Yamandu?
Please allow me to introduce Marta Ceciliano, head of Middleware. She has over 20 years of experience working as lead of Middleware and collaborate with different teams as operations and developers department. Regarding his personal side, she loves dancing, painting, playing basketball. And I am fortunate that she is not only my manager, but also my friend.
Thank you, Yamandu. So, what is happening here? Whoop, whoop. Okay. Let's deep dive in our context. We belong to the Middleware Automation Department in Mutua Madrilena. Mutua is one of the best most important companies in insurance in Spain, in Madrid. And we have prepared a short video for you to show our great company.
Can you imagine choosing how to move around the city quickly? Can you imagine managing your home security with just one click? Can you imagine getting the most out of your savings? At Mutua, we don't just imagine it. Because our goal is to develop solutions in the field of mobility, home, savings, and health, without forgetting the digital user experience of both clients and company employees. This is where the middleware area comes in, working every day to ensure process automation and platform integration for the proper functioning of all technology on which Mutua depends. A particularly complex job in a company that currently has international presence and integrates more than 60 different companies. That's why at Mutua, we don't just imagine the user experience, we make it happen.
Home sweet home. Let's go back to the presentation.
Yeah.
Hi. Okay, next. Our story as a Middleware department began in 2009. So we were like the typical web department that we administer web servers, application servers, whatever. And we were adding more and more platforms. So over the years, we've been working with Dynatrace as a monitoring, not observability, monitoring tool. Some cache like WebSphere Extreme Scale, some third-party products, etc. In 2016, our company started a digital transformation plan. So I think you all know that with digital transformation, we don't just transform. Sometimes we add more platforms. So in our case, we were adding a huge bunch of new products, like IBM API Connect, Red Hat Data Grid, OpenShift, WebFocus, Red Hat Single Sign-On. I think you all may be thinking about the amount of work here. So again, we are adding more platforms, and now nowadays, 2023, we give support, administer more than 60 platforms. So you can imagine we need some help. We need a plan. So lifecycle for every project in middleware has 8 stages. So when new projects are coming, we are with the landing, we are in charge of the technical design. Oops. Okay, it's okay. Then we provision every environment, and all these tasks were manual. So provision environments, tuning, when you need to make some changes in some parameters or whatever, manual deployments, basic monitoring, alerting, trying to discover vulnerability for security vulnerability, for images and products, and then fixes and upgrades. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stages for 60 platforms. So easy maths, multiply, and you have a mess. So talking about incident resolution, when something wrong happens, you have service managers really crazy and trying to call operational level 1. They try to guess if something is not working properly, and then they have to call technical teams. These technical teams, usually they have to perform some manual actions again, and if it's not solved, we go round and round and round looking for the problem, and if not, it's solved. So this took maybe from 1 to 2 hours for basic incidents. So this created unsatisfied clients and another reason to make a change. So we need one way to go out this situation. Not just with your personal life and in our IT life, I think one of the best approaches for every problem is these 3 words: stop, think, and act. So we stopped for a while, and we thought about what 4 points were important for us for the next situation, for the future. So first thing we came through was automation must be a must. So automation must be part of each project roadmap, not at the end of the project or something like that. So we need to define or to find what steps were repeatable and try to automate it. Second one single source of truth. We adopted GitOps philosophy where everything was saved in our repository. Talking about provisioning, configuration platforms, or application development, you have one single source of truth. And if you have to recreate your environments because you have a disaster, there is somewhere where everything is recorded or saved. Third, observability is the trigger. We needed a platform too that make us sure that everything that happens in your platform, you are aware of something is happening. So you need to use the AI of your observability platform to be sure about what triggers some actions. So observability is the core for the EDA in our case. And the last, make the company aware of the necessity. This is not a technical point, but it's a tough point. Sometimes you have to convince your senior executives about the necessity of investing your money, time in your team, automation and with observability. So you need to measure, and that's an important thing to do. So with this new approach, lifecycle for every project in middleware, now it has one more stage. Welcome. But the good thing is this new stage is automation. So it's a mandatory stage for every process and for every project, not just at the end of the project, but at the beginning. And all the stages we think they could be automated, they did it. So provision environments, maybe we have from 3 to 5 environments for each platform, was an automation stage too. So we use the previous automation to provision new environments. ALM, we went through a CI/CD approach too, and we eliminated all manual deployments. Observability, oops, sorry, go back. Here. Observability. We need some automation, some AI to find or to discover what different behavior from the baseline there is in your platform. And then you can get some alerting and self-healing. That's the little core for EDA. That's what we are talking today. And security. You have to discover or to be ahead of the vulnerability of your images, of your platforms, or whatever. So we added automation in that stage too, and fixes and upgrade. I think most of the platform now, with the continuous delivery of every platform, it's possible to automate it too. Coming back to incident resolution, now we don't have something wrong happen. Now we know with observability that something different from the baseline is happening, and that's key, because you can go ahead of the problem, and then you have the observability tooling, we'll talk it about later, that detects that something different is happening in your platform, and that's great. Then all these stages are automated, and you have a trigger or something that triggers an action which is executed in our automation platform, which is Red Hat Automation Platform. And that the problem is solved. So now it's not to take 1 or 2 hours to solve the problem. Now I have a different situation where maybe if something different maybe was happening, you can get to a no outage situation, and that's great. So, talking about approaches in automation in your company. In our case, we had a bottom-up approach. We started as a middleware team trying to encourage automation in our department because we had a necessity. But you had to encourage other teams in your company to get to use same tooling, same methodology. So we went through a path to, let's say, not convince, they are here, not convince, but encouraging other teams to go together with automation. So we work really close with platforms and networking and cloud teams to make this automation more general to the company. And then we went to application teams. It was not so difficult because we gave them what they wanted. We gave them automated operation with a self-service catalog, and they started using our automation platform. And then we have a new modern project in our company about data. It's a new data platform. And in this case, the good thing is we started automation and observability from the beginning. It was part of the project. It was not something that occurs at the end of the project. And I think it's a very interesting project for this new approach. And finally, you got to get, if you are using a bottom-up approach, your CIO. And that's the best thing of everything. If you get to your CIO and you convince him that you had to invest your money, your time, your people in automation and in observability. So my piece of advice here is don't wait your CIOs, come here to this beautiful Red Hat Summit and get convinced about EDA. Be a pioneer. Try to encourage the people in your company demonstrating the benefits and everything, and try to convince them or to show or measuring that that's the way. Okay, so maybe you are here and you are all convinced about automation, but you say, okay, Marta, how do I start? So I would love to share with you in our experience, 4 key points that we think they were very good points in our journey. So first you have to choose an automation tooling. You don't have to choose in capital automation tooling. You have to look for the best option in your company. So in our case, we chose Ansible Automation Platform like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah, and I think it was one of the best decisions, Red Hat people here, one of the best decisions in our department in the last years. Next, one project at a time. Don't be greedy, divide and conquer, and don't try to automate everything, huge mess. No. Start with a single project. Try to show the benefits and maybe the risks of automation and the time spent in automation, and then go to the next, and repeat. But be quiet, don't get a mess. And next, observability tooling. It's the same thing. You have to find at the beginning of the project an observability tooling that it's not just one tool. In our case, we have deployed not complex but complete observability tooling, because it has to be the core for triggering any kind of event. So find an observability solution that catches the more data that you can. Data about metrics, about your APM, about logs, about traces, and make the magic there. Let the IA work for you and discover what is different from the baseline behavior. And last, integrate with existing. In the line of one project at a time, don't try to go with automation and try to decommission everything possible. No, you just try to integrate with your existing platforms, and then time will come with everything will be decommissioned, but try a smooth journey. Last, I love to share with you too our Observability Platform. This is the core for our ADA. We have a deployment of all these products, Dynatrace as an APM. It has possibility for logs, but we are using as an APM. Traces, metrics, and logs. And we are using Thanos, Prometheus, Elastic, Dynatrace. I think they all sound familiar to you. And that's the core for IA, for observability, and then it triggers some actions in our Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform. So this is our path, and next, this is how this automatic, I love that word, automatic work for us. So over to you, Yamandu.
Thank you, Marta. All right. Let's demonstrate the 3 use cases in that case, but this is the first use case I'm going to present, that is application self-healing. In that use case, we have, on one hand, we have Dynatrace that is responsible for monitoring and detect problems and anomalies in our application in that specific use case. We have an application web server that is Unica. On the other hand, we have Red Hat Ansible Automation Platform with a workflow to restart the application servers when the problem notification is activated and launch the workflow. I'm going to show the Dynatrace portal. Here we need to go to problem notifications, that is in settings, integration, and problem notifications. And here we have all the problem notifications that, for example, email notifications, webhook notifications. And here we have to share Unica, that is the name of our application. And we have two problem notifications, the testing that is going to use in that demo, and the production notification down, that is in a production environment. In that problem notification, we have the endpoint of our AAP workflow, that is that. And we have the message we send to the workflow, that we pass the problem details of our anomaly with Dynatrace detects the alerting profile that we configure with the different parameters. We need to, for example, the timeout request or something like that the developers and our department fix to better understand how the application runs and all of this. And now I'm going to send a test notification. Okay. And I go to Ansible Automation Platform. And here we have workflow. Is that? And this workflow have different steps. The first step is this job template, that is remediation checker. In this job template, there are two steps. The first step is to create a maintenance window to not create more problems notifications in Dynatrace environment during the self-healing process. And the second step in this job template is to detect and evaluate the problem message to decide what is the application server we need to restart firstly. In that case, it's a workflow, a testing workflow, but after that, we restart application server with the problem details and this server, and after that, we restart the other application server. And the last step is with this job template, to close the maintenance window, send a notification that we integrate in our Teams channel. And here we have that the testing Unica remediation workflow is successfully finished. And I am notified with that. Now I'm going to show the second use case. That is that, integration with SystemLog management. In this specific use case, we have Prometheus that is responsible for monitoring, and while Alert Manager integrating that Prometheus connect with a service called Prone to Tower to run a job template to compress the logs and solve the problem. And here in Ansible Automation Platform, we have a job template to compress the logs. The problem in that use case is to detect the log file system is higher than 80%. And if that situation happens, run the job template and compress the logs and solve the problem. Okay. I'm going to present the different steps in that architecture. We have Prometheus, Alert Manager, Prone to Tower, and the Ansible Automation Platform. The first thing we have to do is define an alert rule. With the expression, we need to create an alert Here we have the file system is lower than space available lower than 20%. And in that case, we create an alert. And in Alert Manager, we need to create a receiver and define a new route to match the new alert. And here we have the different parameters to configure this receiver. After that, we have to create a webhook that connects with the prone-to-tower service. That is the endpoint of this webhook. The last step, we need to configure a config map that is prone-to-tower config map. And here we have the Ansible automation parameters, for example, the job template to launch, the credentials, and the message that we send to the job template to compress the logs in one node or other node. I'm going to show the Prometheus, and we have. I'm going to. Well, sorry. I'm going to speak with a college that simulate that the file system, there are a file system problem. Okay. And in that point, this alert is going to be red, but I speak with my colleagues to create more files in the file system to create this alert, but we are going to show the other use case, and after that, in that case, this alert is going to be red, but it's better because the file system and the alert have times to create. I'm going to show the other use case that is better to explain. It's very similar, this use case, because we have the same elements with a little difference, but the process is the same because we have Prometheus that is responsible for the monitoring. In that case, we have an expression to detect the namespace quota exceeds the 85%. After that, launch a workflow that with a validation with our infrastructure team, an approval in the Ansible Automation Platform, increase the quota as needed. This is help to our teams. Not it's necessary to create a service desk, for example, with the message I need to increase the quota because I have to create new application or something like that. Here we have the quota of the namespace that now we have with 83%. And here we have an application, a test application, and the Prometheus dashboard that is with the alert, with the expression that we detect the namespace quota with the query. And now I'm going to increase the pods and go to update that. Update that. Very slow. VPN is very slow. I don't know why. What problem happens? Now? Yeah. Increase. 97%. Here, I don't know how much time is, but in that point, the alert create and go to Ansible Automation Platform. with the workflow approval. Here, we need, this is the different testing we did. Here, then this approval is notified to the infrastructure team and go here and approve the workflow, and the workflow increase the quota as needed to create these pods. No? I don't know why is the demo problem, but maybe sometimes in some moment create alert. But yeah, I'm going to pass to the last steps. Sorry. That is our next steps in the future of automation is to use the last feature that is added to Ansible Automation Platform, that is event-driven Ansible. This feature create other environment because now we always connect the different monitoring tools to the Ansible Automation Platform automations. And with that feature, we are able to be more proactive and not reactive to these events. We have a lot of possibilities with this implementation, and we are going to potential these events, event-driven Ansible, with other departments to include self-healing process and all of these types of things. The second step we are going to do is to aim a zero tickets project that provides maximum autonomy to other teams, because now we're implementing our department, but we can implement to other departments with different automations, for example, infrastructure automations or database implementations that we can include in that self-service portal. Thank you, but I'm going to, sorry, I'm going to go to the alerts, I don't know. No. I'm going to show the alert. Yeah. Whoa. And the approval. Yeah, I'm going to approve. The workflow is run now, and it grows the quota. It's a success that. And this playbook increases the quota. I hope. Maybe the other alert, no, of the log, okay? No, this alert is not. Okay, clean, yeah. Okay, the quota is lower than 73%. The pods is creating. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know if you have any question, or it has been crystal clear, everything. But if you have any question, we'd love to respond your okay.
Yeah. So the webhook that comes from Dynatrace over to Tower.
Yeah.
Is there you have to customize the data that goes into Tower?
Yeah, this part is very interesting, because we have Dynatrace as SaaS, and we have to expose the Ansible Automation API to connect, because the Ansible Automation Platform is inside in our network, and we have to expose in API Manager this endpoint to connect the workflow. And in that endpoint, the API Manager will use AP Connect, that is a IBM product. And in that AP endpoint, we customize the message we receive and then send to the Ansible Automation Platform with the problem details. No? The parents travel. No? The problem details travel with the notification to AP Connect, and after that to the Ansible Automation Platform.
You want to show you just the case with the parameter? We can show you afterwards if you want. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, this is the problem details. Yeah, and the problem state. See. Yeah.
Marta, you stressed that back in 2016.
Well, I don't.
Can you talk louder, please?
Marta, you stressed that back in 2016 you used monitoring with Dynatrace and observability. What's, in your opinion, the difference between monitoring and observability?
Oof, how many times do I have to answer that question? It has nothing to do. Monitoring is just look at the values and decide if something is correct or not. But observability, you have an end-to-end platform. You have a platform to take the end-to-end solution. So you can choose and decide if something wrong is happening in every step of the process, of the flow. So observability is a whole. You just not observe, you just not monitor. You observe data, you have IA, because you have like a data lake you have a bunch of data. So what you can do with your own data is huge. It's massive. So a big difference, because monitoring is you know what you have to look as a key point, I think, my opinion. Monitoring, you have to know what to look, and observability is more a proactive solution because you have the whole context of the situation. Did I help you? Yeah? Thank you. It was not so clear.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to get to this point? And was it just you, or did you what was your team size?
How much time?
No, how many people?
How many people? In my team. In my team, 5 people. And in the whole thing, 55 people, 25 people. That is the middleware team.
The cases in our department, automation, the company was not really supportive, so we had to fight. Be careful with these words. With our CIO to demonstrate we had to invest in automation. So it's been a tough work. That was my work. About defending why we need that people working for this. Yamandu's team started like 1-2 persons, and then we are 5, but it's not enough people to automate. So I think you all know you have to fight when you have to. It's not about the company things they want to get. It's about what you know your company had to do to improve your platform. And sometimes it's not easy to defend that point. CEOs, come here to the event.
The CEO is going to watch this video.
Yeah, I know. He knows about it.
You didn't have an automation team before that, did you?
No. In our case, it was my decision to hire a person specialized in automation like Yamandu. So at the beginning, it was something that it was not understood by the company. Why do you need a person with automation? We all do automated process. We all make our bash scripts, and you don't need something specialist in automation. And it's not the same to do your own scripts in your department, to make the whole and global image or picture of the situation. And we were pioneers, and I feel so proud to be a pioneer, to fight. And now we have Yamandu in my team, and I'm the proud mama of the company. So, yeah.
I guess, to roll out to the rest of the company, are you planning to, have one of your team work with other teams? Or are you planning to build a practice? Is there a plan as to how to
Yeah. Curious?
We try to implement like a archetype of automation to our teams. No, the different streams in our team use the same. For example, we have automation to create automations, no, and with different type of automation, and we have to follow this archetype. But the other teams in Mutua Madrilena not follow these archetypes. Yeah.
Completing the answer, now we got to the CIO, and now he's more aware of this necessity. And we've, in our way to get a change in the organization where automation and observability will be like transversal services for all departments. So we are in our way to expand this automation team. Let's hope not with 4 or 5 people, I don't know. But to make like a transversal is okay? Yeah. Do you understand? Transversal service for all the IT departments. We've been working too with some business people. They are using some automation, and we were really surprised they were using GitOps and say, how people from business know about GitOps? And we've been working on giving them hints or pieces of advice about how we are making our automation, and it worked really well. So we are on our way to get it like a more cross, not transversal, cross department. Yeah.
So like a community of practice, between the different departments.
That's the idea of the automation team, to give practices, general tooling or whatever. That's
templates.
Yeah. Now we're really based on middleware. We have system platforms. We have worked for years, but the idea is to make it higher and more extend to the whole company. That's the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, because for example, Ansible Automation Platform, we only use our department, and networking, for example, is a department to create other automations, but we want to all company use the same automation tool.
Do they have their own instance of the tool? Like does the networking team have their own instance?
No, this is the same infrastructure, but with different organizations. No, in the yeah.
That's the idea. We try to centralize. Now we are in our island, but the whole idea is to get the same tools, same versions, same experience for every department. Yeah, but it's a, it's a journey. Yeah. Good luck.
And so these are some of the areas where you're expanding. You have different.
Yeah, the different department. Yeah. We have robotics, networking, and all of the deploy, but this is our organization. Yeah.
What is the zero-ticket system going to look like for you? What does that mean?
You want me to go ahead? A zero-ticket project is an intention to avoid self-ticketing tooling in our company. We've measured, as I told you, time developers or other people spend in ticketing, and the ticket going through different departments and try to get to the right person, and it takes a long time. And it was marked as a pain point for them. So we started our own portal of self-service catalog. This is on real life. So we've included that you can see messaging. It's WebSphere, it's IBM web server application, OTP, data grid, Red Hat single sign-on, API connect. So we are studying with people from development teams what are their necessities or what they think they need more, and that's our zero-ticket intention project. Not a zero ticket, that would be...
because it's impossible.
Yeah, but we are on our way too. We have that man at the bottom about the time, so if you are interested in asking us any other question, we'll be
glad to answer that.
Thank you to respond to. Thanks.